So
that's fine.
we've had people.
We're live.
Oh, we're live. I was gonna give you. I was gonna give you last minute notice about something, but
welcome to another unauthorized and rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Island with Gatsby Deep Diving Queen Red
woo!
and Paul the Navigator
Hello.
and Ura the Pirate Scribe. Where is the Pirate Princess?
The Pirate Princess is actually in bed, so let's just leave her there for a while.
Wow.
No. That was not the deal.
Okay.
Our queen does not break her word.
Well, then you will have to fix that, and I will talk to Paul about what we're doing today.
I'll go get her. No, wait, you know what we're doing. Damn, I need to stay. Sorry about the cursing.
So, sorry, folks. I don't know. Some of you showed up for yesterday's webinar on security that went on for 3 hours. So I am a little pooped today.
Look,
is that like a
3 notebooks? I made 3 notebooks.
One for each hour.
One for each hour.
Yes.
No. So this is I think this is a short one, but we've said that before.
Right.
Let us know. I'm going to share my screen, and then Paul can talk us through what we are making today. Oh, hello. There is our screen. Okay,
Yeah.
Paul, what are we making?
So we are I've already added to my blog post template. So this little bubble slider that I talked about last week appears on every blog post page, and it's a little interactive thing. It works on phone, it works with keyboard, and it works with mouse, and you can drag it around and you can select a different reaction. There we go. And you can throw it around, and then what we need to do is when the animation finishes, you'll see that the bubble pops up and the button changes, and then we're going to post that reaction to a Gatsby function, which in turn will post the slug and the reaction name off to a fauna index, fauna collection. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. A lot of the UI stuff we won't need to touch because I just figured we'll focus on the function bit. And then, yeah, given that last night was 3 hours, I wanted to try and make this as easy as possible for everyone. So, yeah.
Especially for me. Thank you. I'm coded I don't know. I see that Rich is in the chat. You have to get on YouTube. Better comments and community over on the YouTube chat, Rich. Okay, so
hello,
let's
Rich
fire up.
Rich can be on this weird other service if he wants to. That's cool.
Well, then he doesn't see everybody else's chat, and he will feel left
matter.
out. No, well,
is he on Periscope? Is that
He's on
that
Periscope.
weird thing because it comes up on Twitter, isn't it? It's weird.
Yes,
I got caught out on that before. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Now Ola's talking to him through my Periscope. Anyway, let's get going.
All right. So step 1, we need to install 2 dependencies. The first is FaunaDB.
Okay, too many accounts. So npm install, and it's just fauna, and then db, one word.
Yep. And
so this is the database service.
Yes.
Folks.
And then we need to also install. Oh, you've gone ahead and installed. There's one more to do as well.
Oh, you wanted me to install all of them at the same time?
That's all right. You can do one by one. It says React-cookie, and this is what I'm going to use. I'm not sure if it's the best way to do it, but this is what I'm going to use to prevent users from resubmitting over and over and over again. Obviously, they can just remove the cookie and it will re-enable everything, but it's better than nothing, I think.
I mean, if somebody wants to hack your reactions, they really do like your blog post, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if if I can handle putting reactions on my blog, because I would rather not know if people don't like it than open up reactions where everyone goes, I'm sad, it makes me unhappy, and just keep posting things. I'd rather not know.
You could have loved it more. That could be your 2 reactions.
Well, there could just be one, which was it's great. That's it.
We are probably not using that sweet fauna real time. This shizzle that Rich is talking about. We're going to do a
good Sweet Fauna real-time chisel. Is that a package, Rich? Is that a node module?
I don't know. We will use Fauna as a regular old backend or database.
Yeah.
So for the folks who's been joining us for the Summer Functions program, we tried to limit reactions using IP addresses on Tuesday, which worked fairly well from my location, but then Ineza tried from his location and he got different IP addresses every couple of hours. So that didn't work as well as expected. And then we learned yesterday on the security webinar that went on for 3 hours that like nothing is really secure, is it? No. No, but there's so many things to think about. And if your API is going to be public, it's public, right? All we can do is just put in little like roadblocks so people hopefully go, you know, somewhere else and attack their reactions as instead of your reactions, reaction collection gathering.
Yeah.
But in this one, we're just going to do it so that if you're using the web page, you like click, you're only allowed to click once. But then if you really want to do it twice, you can then delete your cookie and do it again if that's what you want. But don't do that because then Paul has to pay a lot of money to Fauna, I guess, at some point.
I mean, yeah, but they've got a fairly sizable chunk that you get for free.
Yeah.
And like we are talking literally a byte of data that I'm sending up. So I'd be surprised if I ever got a bill. I mean, no one reads my blog anyway, so I'd be surprised if based on my Google Analytics and the 10
do not
I
go
get a
out.
day.
Well, if somebody tries to attack Paul's blog, he's just going to take reactions away again. Okay, let's
right. Should we get on with it?
Go.
Right.
Yes.
So we need to now create our function. So we've already got an API directory because we did the newsletter form last week, right? And now we're going to create a new one. The file is going to be called
You already created it. Did I pull the wrong branch?
Yeah.
Hello, people. A little pooped, as I said in my brain. So
the branch name that you want to pull is in our behind the scenes doc, right at the top, where it says, "This is the branch you'll need to work on."
Did you mean I was supposed to read that?
Yes. It's a little glimpse behind the scenes here, people. I do it just in case things don't work for us, but I create a branch.
Well, everybody
can work
cheat look at this code now. I'm going to find it. I'm so sorry. Today I have been not.
Do you want me to tell you the branch name? Because
yeah,
it's even formatted because you told me off last time for not naming it properly. It's even got my username and week 2 in it. I literally did everything I could possibly do, and you still nosed it up.
I'm so sorry. Oh, I can't even find our files. Hello, people. I hope you're still with us. Okay, there we go. I'll bring up the cheat sheet.
Do you want me to put it in the private chat? That's the branch
name.
I
have it. I have it.
I heard you do like this, Paul. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Yes. Cheers, everybody.
You're looking fresh today, Paulie. Is this a new shirt?
No, it's not a new shirt. Yes, it's a new shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we need to git stash, and then we need to install everything again. I am so sorry, folks.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I know. Talk amongst yourselves. You were doing so good before the show.
Well, so I think it's worth saying, because I said this to Benedicte before we streamed, but I'd like to say it again publicly as well, which was
that was just me.
God. I was just about to praise you as well, and you've nosed that up. But let me publicly say it. I just want to say you did such an excellent job last night. I found it really interesting. It was a great stream. 3 hours is intense, and I think for anyone that's done streaming will know like how hard that can be, especially dealing with like weapons grade security hacks that Mike was talking about. So yeah, well done. I really enjoyed it, and I think you did a brilliant job.
Thank you so much. Somebody's asking what fästningar, if that is Norwegian, and it's actually Swedish. In Norwegian, it's called something else, but it means oh my god, this stream is not happening. I said Hello.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
This
I did
stream
nothing.
is.
I did nothing.
I don't know. Paul, are you with us?
I'm here. I am
Yeah,
here.
good.
Did I go?
Okay. You went. We went. I think we went. We lost some people now.
No.
Okay, I'm ready.
Where did we get to? What were we doing?
No,
oh yeah,
am
so
I
you've
on
got.
Oh boy, am I still? I don't know what. Like this
What
stream.
branch are you on?
Oh boy. I don't know what is going on.
It's the internet.
It's the internet. It's me. It's like everyone's against me right now.
I'm
Git
not.
stash. I'm happy that you are not. There we go. And then we needed to install our packages. I'm sorry, you all have to watch this twice.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think our connection is back up though. So people drinking anything fun? I'm just on water today because I thought my head had enough of a fun time yesterday. And then we needed the React cookie.
Mm-hmm. What's dash legacy here?
I know it asked for it when I was doing just a regular install. I think it's because some of the plugins are not like aligned because you've been upgrading. I don't know. I just did it because then it works.
Did it does package.json show up in the diff? Does it actually add them? Oh yeah, I can see package locks change.
Water, Neil, water. It's the and it's also I guess midday in where you're at. Well, we're at like 8 o'clock again at night, like we were yesterday. Okay, so we need to create then. I'm gonna then run this.
The dependencies installed. Okay, sorry, just to be Ian spreadsheets about it again.
It looks like they're all in there. React cookie and everything.
Okay, fine, good. Okay, so right back to where we were about 10 minutes ago. We need to make a new file. It's going to be add reaction.js. And it's singular, not plural, because
I did singular. And then it's export.
Export. Okay, so export default, and it's an async function.
Export. Isn't it export default async? This is why I always.
Yep, async function, and then it's handler. It's called handler.
And then it's request, and then it's response.
Yeah. So the first thing to do, because the handler in the component is going to send up 2 values from the. So I'm tired now from the bubble slider.
Well,
so we
are gonna test it first.
Okay, fine. You can do your thing. Fine.
In case I have messed it up in some way, I'd like to test them first so that we know that it's working before we start adding in new functionality.
Good plan. Have you got the dev server running?
Yes, I do. So Neil have you ever seen MTV Jersey Shore? I haven't really, but I've been to the Jersey Shore. So I know all about the Jersey Shore. It's actually one of my favorite vacation places. It's called Ocean Grove in New Jersey, which is next to Asbury Park. We have some family members with kind of like a summer thing there. It's a tent thing.
Is that where Neil is then? So
it looks like that because
Jersey is kind of big though.
Yeah, so you might Neil might not be exactly in that location, but I don't know. Like I don't think. I mean, should we just like quit this stream? Like what? It's like building and it's not building. And Neil is saying that it's very close. That is interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll come knocking on your door in a year or two when we visit Ocean Grove again.
Dressed up as pirates.
I honestly, I don't know.
Does it just work for the localhost 8000? Does the site actually work?
Yeah, there we go. It's working.
But
it's also slow. Yeah, it's working. And then we do API. We're not time traveling today. We're doing add reaction. There we go.
Right.
Got it.
Fantastic. Okay, so we will be sending 2 params from the UI up to the function. So they will be on the request body, so we can destructure them. So it'll be const and then curly brackets.
What are they called?
They're called slug and reaction.
Reaction. So they will be on the rec body.
Yeah. I don't know how much you want to test as we go, or should we just write it and then just...
We can, like, now I know, like, the skeleton is working.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Okay, so above the export default, we need to require fauna DB because we're going to be using that. So it would be const fauna DB, all lowercase, equals require, and then a string fauna DB.
Okay.
And then, we need to do a new const, which will be Q.
Q.
And that is...
Oh, look at me spelling Q.
Just Q is fine. I deliberately didn't call it Q.
Correctly.
No, just put Q because we've got to write it again in a minute, and I don't want any more.
Oh, you want to just like
the letter Q?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself spelling.
I know, but we got to write it 2 more times, and I was like, she's going to spell that wrong. So just went with an easy one. The letter Q. So faunadb.query. Yep, and then underneath that, we're going to make another const. And this is going to be the client. And this is going to equal new fauna DB.
Like so, then.
Yep. And it will be dot client. So with not the parentheses. It's not.
Oh. The client.
Yep. And it's with a capital C.
Yes, it's a new client. Okay.
Yeah. And then that will have an options object.
Yeah. So we're setting up the connection, I guess, to the fauna.
Yes. And this is where we pass the secret. So it's a key value pair of secret. Sorry, you're delayed. And then we can pull the fauna API key from our environment variables. So process.env. And then in uppercase, Gatsby _fauna _key.
Gatsby _fauna. Did you say Gatsby first?
Yes.
Well, you shouldn't do that because then it will be available in your front end as well.
I did not know that. I was wondering, I remember a long time ago, you had to prefix it with Gatsby.
No, you have to prefix it with Gatsby if you want it to show up in your front end code. But every secret that should only be available on the server should not be prefixed with Gatsby.
I did not know that. Okay, well...
So now everyone can run and hack Paul's blog.
Well, we're not going to deploy this, so we'll hack it. Give me the reactions.
Okay, so we'll fix that afterwards.
Yeah, we'll
everyone,
okay.
Never Gatsby _ your secrets that are just for your functions. But I'm not going to go changing it now because then I'm going to expose all our secrets. Yeah. Okay, Gatsby fauna and then just DB.
_key, not DB.
_ key.
Yeah, so we've got a client which has got a secret key value pair processing. Yep, okay, fine. And then we want a try catch underneath that.
Somebody is no longer in her bed.
Du må se på kamera, Lilla, der.
Hello, Lillian. I thought you were never supposed to wake a sleeping child.
I mean, she was in her bed. She wasn't sleeping.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
So what do you want to do in this try?
Let's handle the error first.
Okay.
So res.status.500.
Mm-hmm.
And then send JSON back. with a message key value pair, and we'll just take the message from error.message.
Okay.
And then in the try, we are going to do await.
Await.
Client, which is the
our client.
Instance, and it will be dot query.
Okay.
And that's a function.
Okay. I've never used Fauna. This is very exciting.
And then in there,
is it exciting, folks? Okay. What's in there?
Q.create, and create is a capital C, and that's a function.
Oh, so we're using that query, and then okay.
And then in there, it will be Q.collection with a capital C.
Okay.
Now this accepts a string, which is, I've called it reactions. So this is the name of the collection space in
the reactions with. Is there a capital R?
No, lowercase. That's fine. And then a comma.
Yeah, and then we are doing
an object.
Params.
Yeah, so it'd be an object with data, which is also an object. And then we can do slug, slug, and reaction.
Slug, and reaction is going to be the reaction.
Yeah, so that is how you post to Fauna. I probably will either put it in the comments or I might add it to the tweet, but there's a one-page doc on Fauna's docs. It's just basically like, this is how you post, and that's basically it. Like, you need to create the collection first, and you can do it. You can either do it through the API or through the UI, but it's as simple as clicking on a button, going collections, giving it a name, and that's it. And then this is how you post to it. So.
And also, I think here, because this is our kind of database, and I'm guessing they don't have any validation on their side, we should, but we're not going to do it on the stream, validate the input that is coming here, slug and reaction, to make sure that those are what we expect them to be before we send them off to the database.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a bit like what we talked about last night and what we did last week with ConvertKit. There may well be, and I imagine there probably is some sort of security on Fauna's end, which won't allow that eval and that function to execute.
It won't allow anything dangerous, I think, but it would allow if you just make up a slug. Like if I just call this API from somewhere and I just call it like, slug X and reaction, blah, then that's still valid. But you could do like a yup and then just do the reactions that you've added to the page and only allowed those, for instance. There are like different ways, but we're not doing validation today, but just so folks are aware.
Sure. And also I think for reactions, it doesn't really affect anything. All it's going to do anyway, we'll move on to that. Right. So rather than
it's just going to add. So when you ask for if the slug isn't correct or the reaction isn't correct, it's not going to be shown on the page, right? Okay.
We just won't disable it. That's the only thing it won't do. Right. So rather than res.send, can you? We're going to send this in a set timeout as well, just because it happens so fast you don't see anything. So it'll be res.status 200 and then .json and then message key value pair. And I will just copy in a message for you into the private chat. You can just copy and paste it. This is the message that we'll send back.
I love your copy. It's always so British.
There you go. Now, can you wrap that res.status in a set timeout?
You want to fake? You want to fake a slow?
Yeah, and I mean, just give it like a 2-second delay, so 2000.
I can't even. What am I doing? Okay, 2000, and then we need to do another parentheses, and then we put all of this into our set timeout function.
It's just so you see it actually spin and load. Right.
So I need to do, I see, so Neil is asking Ola, who's not here at the moment, if we knew that, if we know that Ocean Grove is a dry town or was a dry town, and we are very aware because our family have actually their kind of vacation home is these tents that are around the big church, so that it's still kind of frowned upon if you sit and drink wine at like your little front porch. So we always drink wine out of these like opaque glasses that looks like we're drinking water.
Oh, so Dry Town is no booze.
Yeah, and it's still like last time I was there, like 2 years ago, I think, with Lillian. It was still dry, as in you couldn't buy alcohol in this within the city limits, but you can walk across this little bridge to Asper Park and buy whatever you want and then walk back.
But it's not like, illegal. It's just what is it, like a religious? No, it's not a religious thing. What is it? What's the reason?
I think it's a religious thing.
What
but
religion,
it was some form of Christianity. But it's not illegal. Like, so they still don't sell anything within the city limits, but it's not illegal to drink anymore. Anyway, that was a long off topic, but
well, I won't be going there then.
But it's the cutest little town, and well, see, now you can then bring your own to the restaurants, and they will like go and find glasses for you and like open it, but they can't sell.
Oh, sounds like a lot of hassle.
Well, it just makes that you get cheaper brews at the restaurant, right? Because they can't price it up. But they will charge you like $5 to like open it and bring out the glasses. Anyway, anywho, back to our little reaction function.
Okay,
so it's done, isn't it?
Function done. We've done all of that. We've done all of that. Now we can make the request. So if you find in components,
just 2 seconds.
They should.
This family. Ola says, Paul, you gotta prepare a plug. Okay.
All right, fine. Okay, so it should be a component in reaction slider, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And then go in there, and then there's a handler function, and you should see a poo emoji that says Benedicte start here.
Yes. So I can just uncomment all of these.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Right. So now we're going to write an Axios post. So you need to give it a const name. So it'll be const response, because we will need access to it.
Yep.
So const response equals await axios.post, and then it's.
So now we're going to call the function we just made.
Yeah. So API / add reaction. And we're going to send in 2 params, which is
the slug
and the reaction.
Where am I getting the slug from?
So slug will come from the props, which get passed in from my theme, so they'll already be available. So you don't need, it's already destructured, so it'll just be slug, and reaction.
Oh, okay.
And reaction comes in as an argument from the handle reaction function. You can see
so this one.
Yeah, so it's already been passed in.
So when you're using the slider, it sends the reaction in here, and we get the slug gets passed into the reaction slider from the blog post page, and then the reaction is passed in from the I guess submit handler or something on the slider.
Yeah, and you can scroll down if you want to see it. It's right at the bottom. Yeah, there. So there's an on click. Scroll up. It's on line.
There it is.
Line 137. So that handles the reaction, and that's a render prop from the React bubble slider. You can see it's destructured in the render props there. So reaction gets passed back when the animation's finished. So when you click it, that will pass it up to our handle reaction, and slug is already destructured from the. Well, this comes from my theme, but it's already in this component. And actually, I'm not sure if slug's the best way to do this, but it's the only unique prop I have available at the moment without having to do more work on my theme, and I've already had to do a lot just to get it to a point where it works with Gatsby v3.
Yeah, and if anybody's wondering where this bubble comes from, that is a package that you can use yourself. Did you make it, Paul, or did somebody else make it? Who made this package?
I made it. So basically, Chris Gannon made it just in JavaScript using GSAP, and then I spoke to him and asked if he'd mind if I'd open source it, and I turned it into, used the latest version of GSAP, and also wrote a React version of it. And if you've ever tried to do any kind of animation in React, you'll know what a pain in the arse that is, because React does not like it.
Okay, so what are we doing now? Am I uncommenting all of these state things.
Are we uncommenting that? What did I have in my spreadsheet? Hold on. So we can do that. Oh yes, comment in the code below, which is for the all the state stuff. So that should work if we've spelled everything correctly. So if you save that and then just give the page a refresh.
What does this ref current reward me do?
Yeah, you can uncomment that as well. That is the little confetti effect. I'll talk you through it. I mean, if you uncomment that as well, we can.
And then we go back to our page and test it out.
Yeah, that should work. And if it doesn't, we're going to have to go back and double check that we've spelled everything correctly, or you just check out the branch that you had.
I noticed that we're going to spend the rest of this the stream just talking about Jersey Shore because I want to go back. We were supposed to go back this fall, and for Neil there, my relative who moved to America actually does have a picture of himself and Bruce Springsteen. Old black and white photo of them together. Okay, so all the way down at the bottom, we do this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it failed with status code 500.
So something errored. So let's try and backtrack.
Executed function, API, add reaction. Slug, reaction. So sometimes I just do a console log here of my.
I mean, this is so hard for me because I can't really see your screen.
We all know my spelling is perfect, so it will not be me having done anything wrong.
It's probably the try catch, though, isn't it? So it's going to probably have an issue with not being able to send the query to Fauna.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to take you off screen. I'm just going to double check that I've spelled the secrets correctly. So Ula, if you want to transition us into a break, I can just double check the code so people don't have to watch that again.
You're on mute, Ula. There we go.
That's nothing compared to the potato chip I have in my mouth and throat. All right, it's break time, and what do we do in the breaks? We plug ourselves, we selfish bastards. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna try and share my screen now. It's not really what I'm good at, but gotta practice. Share. Uh-oh. Hide my one password. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Add to stream. Yeah, there you go, baby. I got this thing on the Twitter. You should all go and check out my Twitter feed. Look at this. A long time ago, on a bridge far, far away, Ruby's time ship. 4 pirated Gatsby JS functions to jailbreak a sister by Lilian Rovia 6 and Olavia. It's the start of the story here. It's going down. It's a thread. It's one of those Twitter threads you maybe have seen. It's what the kids do these days. Yeah, check me out. Retweet me. Yep. Thanks.
I love it.
I actually have a plug this week for the first time in a long time. I actually have something. Well, I have sort of 2 things. Am I allowed to share screen? We've not done this before, have we?
Yes, you are.
How can I do it, or do you do it for me?
I can try. You have to share first, and then I add you.
All right.
I almost removed you there. That was close.
All right.
All right. Are you ready? I'm adding you. There you go.
Oh God!
Yes,
right.
the
Okay.
tunnel of love. The tunnel
Great.
of love. Yeah.
So I had my first article published on Smashin' magazine this week, and it's about Gatsby Serverless Functions. And I wrote a little tutorial which will allow you to plot the location of the International Space Station around a 3D globe. This is what the tutorial will allow you to make. You can see it there. There's the International Space Station, and it updates every 5 seconds, and this is fully interactive. But I also want to plug the other half of the work that I did for this, which was on the 500 bottles giveaway campaign I worked on with Gatsby. But for each of the people that won, I query the Shopify orders to get the lat long of each of the winners, and then plotted them around this 3D globe. And I suppose a similar thing could be done for your blog, maybe, or anyone's blog, if you were able to capture the lat longs or the geolocation of people that signed up for your newsletter. You could maybe, in theory, put a little globe on your blog somewhere to find out where your readers are. So yeah, there should be enough in here that will allow you to create the whole thing. There's a slightly snazzier version that I made. There's a link to that. It's all open source. But yeah, basically just talks you through how to do all of it. And you'll end up with a 3D interactive globe using React 3 Fiber.
Whoa.
Wow. Everybody's probably blown away by that.
I think it's great at Smashing Magazine. Isn't that some kind of high-flying fancy pants thing?
Well, I mean, they're a popular publication. I don't know.
I love your enthusiasm, Paul. It's a popular publication.
Yeah. Well, it is. That's the facts. I'm just giving you the facts. No emotion. You know me. I'm a robot.
It's like Winston Churchill. Just the facts. Yeah.
Just the facts.
Okay. Yeah. Now I got invalid. I'm working on it.
No, you are going to do your plug, woman.
Oh, woman. Sorry. Before my plug's over, I think both of those things will be in my newsletter, which isn't my newsletter, but it's managed by Benedicte.
When Queen Ray has time, she will send that out in the newsletter.
Okay. And you can sign up for my newsletter at paulie.dev.
Okay, it suddenly worked. I think I had, I don't know what I'd done wrong. I mean,
it is a green wall, Neil. Yes, it is.
What could have been? What could have been? Okay, so I'll do my plug, and then we can get back to the code. I think it was just like a little. Well, my plug. Lillian is like laughing at the. Okay, so what do I do? I'm gonna add back my screen, and then we're gonna do one of these incognito windows. So we've been having so much fun with summer functions, and if you feel kind of left out, you can do a mini version, a little, not Queen Ray doesn't exist, Ray exists. You can do a mini version workshop. The last 2 weeks of August, there will be a live webinar where I walk you through how to go from ID to deployed Gatsby serverless function. And then the week after, we'll do a Q&A, and you'll get access to the forum that some of you in the chat already have access to. So if you have any friends, you can share this with them, and they will also come into our kind of private GitHub repo where we have a forum. So I said here, it's a webinar, there's a Q&A session, there's a forum, and there's code samples. And it's kind of pay what you want, not completely. You can choose your own price depending on your situation and your location. And I'm giving you some examples of what kind of discount you want to give yourself depending on your situation.
Hey, what do you think it's worth to you?
To you.
But the plug is really, you guys must talk to your friends.
Yes.
Screw social media. Talk to your friends like for real. Call them up like we used to do when I was a kid.
And then send them the link and then force them to sign up. No, that's all the selling I'm going to do for today.
I've got one more plug actually.
Well, save it for next week because you never have plugs.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, fine. I just thought I'd mention it because we're in the post that I was going to plug, and it's a problem that I think we've all suffered from.
Yes, how to get your local builds to go faster.
Yeah,
that's the plug, and it will also come out in Paul's newsletter that you can sign up for down below, and I will send it to you.
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Break is over. Cheers,
okay.
everybody. Drink responsibly.
So it looks like something's happened.
It worked. I think I had I copy pasted this line from your cheat branch, and now it worked. So I had obviously misspelled something, but I also spent the time and removed that Gatsby underscore from our secret so that it's not shared with the client side code or like the front end code.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I guess for now we want to see it in action, right?
So If I refresh, I'm allowed to do it again, right?
Yeah.
So this
There it
time
is.
I'm going to be like, oh, this is such a bad blog post.
Can you
so
scroll
boring.
up a bit before you submit, just because we'll miss the confetti effect?
Boo! I love the confetti effect. I love the confetti
there
effect
you go.
online.
And maybe I need to share my screen again. If I can quickly do that, actually, because it will just give some indication of what's happening. I'm going to show you Fauna. If you can enable me, just let me know when I'm sharing, because I have no idea.
Okay, will you give him? I can do it then, because Ulai's.
Oh, has he gone missing?
There you go. Now you're sharing.
So I'm in Fauna, and this is the collection. Remember, we called it reactions. And in reactions, these are the things that have been posted. So you can see here, these are the ones. So, I mean, Baby Benedicta, if you want to choose one and just tell us which one it is, we'd actually see it happen live. Just pick a new reaction that you've not used. You've already used.
Refresh again.
You've used tongue, confused, cool, and tongue. So pick any other one. We'll just confirm that it's working.
Let's see. Oh, is this a sad face? Oh, I'm doing sad.
Oh, God.
Did it show up?
They're sad. Yep, they're sad.
Oh,
and
so
there's
sad.
the post name. So they're the two things that we're sending, the slug and the reaction. So that's it. I just wanted to show you. And really, like, Fauna is so easy. Like, you just make a new collection, give it a name, and that's it. And as long as you use what we've got in that function, you can just post straight to it. I don't think I will at some point have to do indexes so I can query it, but this is how you post. So like literally one line that you see in that Gatsby function. Right, so that's that bit done. But as you pointed out, if you refresh the page, you can submit again. And that's kind of what we want to prevent from happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why in the handler, it's kind of important to have access to the slug, and that's fine. It comes from the props, but we now need to kind of add something that we can measure against to know if a reaction has been posted for a specific slug. And the method I've chosen is cookie. I know it's not the best one, but it's certainly quite easy. And this is where React cookies comes into it. So if you can share your code again, Benedicta.
Oh, I was over here thinking I was sharing my screen.
I saw you nodding along, and I was like, yeah, no one can see anything. Right, so what we need to do is drop a cookie. So I'll just walk you through it quickly. If you scroll up to the top of the file.
Yep.
And we need to, underneath Axios, we need to import use cookies from React cookie, and it's a named import, so it'll have to be in curlies.
Yeah, I like it when you say it properly. It's a named import, so we need the curlies. Very good technical communication.
I'm working on it. I'm getting better.
React cookie.
Yep. So import use cookies from React cookie, and then we need to add a hook underneath where I've got some of the other hooks. So you'll see it just at the top of the component, not that bit.
Oh, sorry.
So underneath where I've got like all the state objects.
Yes.
React. So we need to add one in there, which is going to be const cookies. Not in. It's const. Sorry. Const cookies set cookie.
Yeah, it's in.
You are right. Sorry.
Yeah. Is it cookies? Cookies, set cookies.
Cookies and set cookie.
Okay.
And that comes from use cookies, which is what we just imported.
Now I just want cookies.
So I noticed yesterday, actually, either you or Mike had added, what was it called? Universal cookies to the package. So the difference with React cookie, which does use universal cookies, but the difference is in your code last night, I noticed that you had an import for universal cookies, and then you had the constructor argument, which was to say cookies equals new cookies. And then to get and set, you have to reference the constructor object directly. Because this is React cookies, it's all done via hooks. So you'll notice there's no constructor object. We don't need to do anything with it. They're just there. So now that we've got this hook available, we can use it. So somewhere underneath the response, I mean, you could do it as the first line under the response if you want. and we're going to do set cookie, and we're going to pass into that 2 params, and they both need to be template literals, and they both need to be the slug.
So it says, yeah, because it comes up here. It needs to be names. It needs to be. Oh, sorry.
No, it will just be 2 params.
It says that I need an. Oh, it's not. It's just 2 params. Sorry, it was just like giving me what it was supposed to be. So,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically just slug and slug.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for your screen to update. There we go. So it's going to be the name of the cookie is going to be the slug, and the value for the cookie is also going to be the slug. Now, the value of the cookie, when we look at it in a minute, is going to have all the spaces escaped. So it'll be like %20 and all the rest of it. But the name will be the name of the slug. And now you can uncomment all of the rest of that use effect stuff.
Because that's just checking if there is a cookie, and then it says, "Oh, you're already reacted to this post."
Yeah. So what should happen now if you save that and refresh the page that you were on?
Did I save? I saved.
We should get.
That's always fun when you're doing demo. You're like, "What? Why isn't it working?" And it's like, "Oh, you forgot to save." Okay. So
yeah.
Oh,
so
you're
it looks
already
like you've already reacted to post. Now, if you open up the developer tools, I'm sure we all know how cookies work, but you know.
I like cookies are one of my like blind spots.
So
I have some things that I just always been like scared of. Some like at some point I was like, oh, that is just too hard, and then I've never kind of looked back on it. And now when we were doing the one yesterday, I was like, well, and we were talking earlier this week. I'm like, this stuff isn't that hard. It's just like in my head, it was like very hard. So is it this one?
Yeah. So if you delete that. And just hit delete or backspace or whatever and refresh the page.
We can do it again.
You should see that it's all enabled again.
Yep.
Yeah, and then if you submit again, what should happen is it posts, you get the thing. So there's the first message, which is like, lovely stuff, your reaction has been added. That's what we sent back from the server. If you were to revisit this page, it's going to check in a use effect if the cookie contains the slug name, and if it does, I say a different message, which is you've already reacted to this post.
So somebody or Neil, not somebody, asked then what if we open like incognito mode, then we'll be allowed to do reactions again, right?
Yeah, or a different browser, or on your phone, you know.
Yeah. So it's more just to be, because what can happen sometimes, when it's not malicious use. It's just like, oh, I didn't. And then before maybe something went wrong, or like they're not thinking, they're like, oh, I'm going to react some more. But now we're actually setting something that will be there when they come back. But if we just like set a little flag in our front end code, the next time they reloaded, they would be allowed to do it again. So it's just like it's more of a UI thing, I guess, than it's not security.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's probably fine for this case because it's like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to submit multiple reactions, which isn't really a bad thing. Oh,
I don't know what I did now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, is there any more to it? I mean, I can talk you through some of those state objects, but I mean, it's relatively self-explanatory, isn't it? Like you set a cookie and then you have a use effect that runs once and just checks if the cookie's there. Like,
yeah. So if the cookie's there, disable it. If not disable it.
Oh my God, Eric has just appeared in the chat. Unbelievable. Absolute scenes. Eric is in the chat.
We are so happy to see you again, Eric. It looks like Ola has been pestering people.
Oh, right. So Eric didn't actually want to show up. He just needed to get rid of Ula. He was like, oh, bloody hell. If I just show up, he'll stop messaging me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Okay.
Wasn't me. No.
Oh, it wasn't you. I'm loving all the chat about still about Bruce on the Jersey Shore. It's just like, now I want cookies and I want to go back to Ocean Grove for a total week of relaxation. The Pirate Princess and I will be back next fall. I hope. That's my mission, at least. Okay. So I guess the last step is to actually put something in these underneath here, or are we not doing that for this stream?
We're not doing that on this stream, but yeah, that's basically what that will be, the reaction count, but it requires that I create an index in Fauna, and then there'll be something in this component that will retrieve from the index by the slug name and then put the count in. I didn't do it in this stream, but I just wanted to have the UI bit
We
there.
can do it in 3 weeks when we do poll live data, because I guess if somebody else is like clicking reactions all over the world, you want them to like show up here real time.
Yeah, so this is a great thing now that we've got Gatsby Functions, is that previously this would have had to been done at build time, and obviously the reaction count would only update as and when the site rebuilds, but this is live data, so every time that page loads, we can make the request to Fauna, pull back all the reaction counts and display them in the UI. So that will come. I'm not sure if I'm going to deploy this until we do that, but in either case, that's what it will look like.
Well,
hello, Lillian.
We are actually done before the
that still
hour.
took way longer than I thought it would, but you know.
We had some problems though in the beginning. We were losing connection. Well, I was a little late. I was very tired.
Paul, you usually say to Lillian, bop, 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 bop.
But she can't hear me, can she?
I'll pull. You can do it now.
Yeah.
Lillian. Ba 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 ba. Yes. Ba ba ba.
They got their own little language there since they can't speak the same language. We need to get.
We have Jack here. He says, "Very nice ISS tracking example."
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Jack. That's very kind.
And Inesa, which says, "I'm happy to be one of the 3 who won the bottle in Africa."
Oh, yes, you did, Ineza. Yeah. I remember seeing that pop up. I think I was aware of you because Benedicte had mentioned it. And then I was so happy that I saw you win because I was like, oh, sweet. And then, yeah, sure enough, you appeared on the globe. So that was brilliant.
Cheers.
They have been shipped. They've started to ship those, by the way, Ineza. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know where they're coming from. I assume the US, but hopefully you'll get it in the next week or so. Is it 5 weeks?
5, 10, who knows?
Oh, crumbs. That's a long time.
All the ports are backed up, you know. So,
Oh yeah.
anyway,
The
Well, let me
containers-
know when you get it in, Azed. Take a picture. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it in Africa, actually. That would be amazing.
Okay, I'm busted.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah.
You're so late to the chat. But it's lovely to see some new people. I don't know if we've seen Jack before, so that's super cool to have you join our show.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And I think that's all for today. If anybody has any questions, be really quick to put them in the chat, and it takes about 30 seconds before we see them. So put that in, and we can like banter some more if you have any questions. And if there are no questions, we'll let Ola do our sign off on, exactly coming up on an hour.
Wow. First time ever.
I mean, I did do 3 hours yesterday, so I'm really happy this one only took the do it.
Yeah.
Tweet us. Yes, it's gonna be super cool. And Anil says we got you 2 new subs today, which means that I just passed 200
201.
subscribers.
201.
So now it's 201. So whoop.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, people.
Thank you so much, Neil. That means a lot, actually, because I've been looking at that. I'm not supposed to, though, but I have been looking at that number all week.
Yes, we'll talk about that later. Shame on you. But did you, Paul, Benedicte, any better? Wait. What is Eric saying here?
I know. I do put it up. I think you need to check out the Canny. Isn't that what it's called? Canny.
Yeah.
Canny IO Gatsby Cloud. We don't have any inside information on that, but I think it's like a feature in here. Forms in Gatsby Cloud. It's got 8 upvotes, but there's nobody has said anything.
Hey, we know this guy. We know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen him around Twitter, so I think since it's not prioritized yet, I don't know.
I mean, what you can do, because I forgot to tell you, Benedicte, you know the issue that we were having with the IP address, and we upvoted from here. It has been expedited. I got a message from this service.
Me too, because here it is.
So what I was going to say is, we'll probably share this link as well. And if you see any future features, then upvote them. And Gatsby are pretty good. Like they did, like we talked about it, and we talked about it on Twitter. And then literally like 24 hours later, it was like, okay, we're moving this up the board. It's going to be a feature. So we will be able to get IP addresses off the request. So that's great.
But as we saw with our Thank Simple from Tuesday, it didn't really work for that use case. But as you saw in my plug, that I want to do price differentiation across kind of locations. And there is a way to, it's not foolproof that either, but you can I think there's like a database where you can check the IP address of your visitor and see where in the world they're located. And then I could then give kind of different prices for the paid webinars for those different locations. And I got that idea off of Vanilla JS Academy, who has this little banner on top where I think it's really funny though, as Norway being one of the richest countries in the world, but I get a 20% discount because developers in Norway make an average of 20% less than American developers. So I really like this approach. I'm going to try to re-implement that with the Gatsby function.
The name of a service I used recently to do the same thing, which you can, let me just grab it. I'm trying to find it.
Because I guess that's what you did for the bottles then.
Yeah, it's exactly the same approach. It is called, oh, caught me off guard. It's called.
But Paul had a really good suggestion after last week's show. So when the princess is back in school, I will try to send a newsletter update after our shows with the links that we're mentioning. So that you can easily find the links, a day or two after the show, you'll get an email with all the links and kind of a summary of what we've done on the show. So make sure you subscribe to Queen Ray's newsletter, either through Paul's blog or on queen.ray.codes, and then you will get these links after the show.
But did you guys say what you're doing next week? I was chatting, I can't do two things at a time.
No, because next week we're doing authentication.
Yes! I love authentication. Are we using the Swissec thing?
I am, for my Tuesday solution, I am using Use Auth by Swissec.
I love that.
And I will hook it up to OAuth, which is an authentication provider. And then I am not 100% sure what Paul will be doing for his solution, but probably something similar.
I think I'm going to use the same, but
yes.
We might as well reveal what we talked about earlier. So
yes, exactly.
For the newcomers that hadn't followed along for the deep dives, we've been developing natamob.dev, which is basically a website that kind of updates itself every time.
Oh, it's not working. It says that we're not live, Paul. We need to fix this.
Whatever. Well, it only I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
I think it's because I called these summer functions something.
They
else,
don't have the right.
Maybe Paul tried to say something.
Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
So for anyone new to the streams, this is our normal Friday night streams, the Gatsby deep dives, and I think what we're going to try and do as an example for next week's challenge is I'll add some kind of authentication to natamob.dev, and we were thinking about doing a kind of fans page. Sounds wrong. I quite like the idea of having like a stowaways page. So if you visit natamob.dev and you sign up, we can sort of capture some information about you and put you on a page, and so you can be one of our stowaways
and sell the data.
No. Not sell the data, but it will give you like a user area. And I'm thinking at the moment, I'd like to try and do use auth, as Benedicte mentioned, but maybe even do like a Twitter username authentication as well. So you'll log in with your Twitter name, and then we can grab a little bit of information from that and display you on the page, and we'll know that like you're one of our stowaways, if you like. So we're the pirates, you're the stowaways. But I sort of started thinking about it, and I was like, it's quite a lot of work. I've got quite a lot on, so I'll see how that goes.
We'll see how far we come, but also we are. So this is kind of an interlude this summer. We're doing these summer functions, but then come late August or I guess September. Let's have a look. Our next one is it's not on August 6th anymore. It's on September 17th. Will be our first Gatsby deep dive of kind of season 2, and then we'll continue working on natural mob dev and do some functions, do some plugins, do some design, and keep on working on it. And so we'll maybe just do auth next week, but then come the next season, there will be upgrades to this site as we go along, and then maybe like this stowaway section, or and then I might hook it up to queen.ray.code. So if you like buy any of the webinars, you can see it, like mesh it together, something like that. Lots of ideas.
There might even be swag as well.
Ooh!
We just don't know.
What?
What? There might even be a swag store, like piratical or nautical themed swag.
Naughty.
Not naughty.
Okay.
Nautical.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Like almost everyone has left now, so
I'm still
I'm
here.
not surprised.
So Ulla, if you do the sign off, and we'll see you again next week for authentication. Oh, and Nessa says yes, he's excited.
Good old Ineza.
Okay,
Thanks,
cheers, everybody. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. This has been another unauthorized and rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Islands with deep diving Queen Ray!
Woohoo!
All the navigator.
Goodbye.
And
Got it right this week.
Ura, the pirate scribe. See you next week, or maybe Tuesday. Who knows?